for the queens, sisters manifesting their dreams. Get your cream by any means and beam with self-esteem. Beauty supreme and booty walk so mean. The way you fit in them jeans, you eat your cornbread and greens. Dance or a doctor, red wine or vodka. Redesign your spot and redefine your mantra. Retwist your locks and realign your chakras. Doing your squats and getting closer to God, huh? Brunching with your squad or taking a girl's trip. Adjust your crown, you God's gift to the world, sis. Celestial body, drink your water. Meditate, sun-kissed goddess, heavenly order. Levitate, tribe of Ashanti. Black girl magic, melanin popping. Whether you ratchet or lavish, whether you bougie or savage, you a gift and a treasure. You got to love a black girl getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together. These black girls getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together. These black girls getting a shift together, dog. When God made you, boo, you know he showed out. Mahogany enchantress, blessings overflow now. Picture of success, seductive silhouettes on a spiritual quest. Manifest and be blessed. Mother, sister, auntie, tribe of Ashanti. Rocking your locks, I got a close crop blondie. The curse and the gift, uplift, apply pressure. Nothing like a black girl getting a shift together. Nothing like a black girl getting a shift together. Nothing like a black girl getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together.
Hello and welcome to Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. This is a podcast about mental health and wellness. I'm an advocate. I love everything about mental health and wellness, and I love bringing different guests on who can help us grow and learn together. But each week I promise to deliver relevant topics that will help our community. Well, we are in the middle of season 4. And it's been good so far. We already have guests all the way into March. Everybody's in this healing and learning circle. So this is pretty great. If this is a replay, make sure you type replay in the comment section and let me know where you're tuning in from. And if this is live, make sure if you have any aha moments, any light bulb moments, make sure and type them in the comment section so we just know what's going on. So today we're going to get right into it. Today's topic is about procrastination. This is under the wellness umbrella. And little did I know upon researching that the procrastination does fall under the mental health aspect. So this is why I have a wonderful guest. I'm going to bring her out of the waiting room. And when I tell you this sister is smart, okay? I cannot wait. And I promise you, go to her Instagram. If you're like me, I was overwhelmed. But you know what? I'll share that with her so I can let her know how triggered she's made me. And I'm going to... I'm going to welcome LaDana to the screen.
Well, thank you for having me. I am super excited to be here. And I know we'll have fun talking about a topic that I know is triggering for a lot of us. Don't worry. I know. But we're going to have some fun with it, right? I promise.
That's the least you could owe us is to have fun. Because LaDana, we're going to get into it in a minute. But I told you I was going to share this on the live. When I tell you, when I started posting about what the topic of this discussion was going to be, people were DMing me, inboxing me, texting me, and they're like, that is so me. That is so me. You know, every girl, you on the other side of the country, and you have everybody triggered. And that's just on social media. This has not even counted on the audio podcast that's gonna go out. Girl,
It's
yeah,
the topic that we're all affected by, but we're all afraid to talk about. We're all hiding from it. But believe me, it has so much of us. And we just need to talk about it. And honestly, on social media, I did the scroll of like trying to find, other people who specialize in this topic, and it's few and far between. And I feel like we need to be talking about this more because so many of us fall prey to this, whether casually, whether chronically. A lot of stuff happens in life, and we just out here delaying when we could be doing.
oh, stay out of my business, LaDana. How do you know me? We don't know each other, but you were describing my experiences in life. Okay, I'm going to try to center myself. I'm going to ground myself and stay on task. That's my first bit of non procrastination. So, everyone, LaDana is a certified positive psychology coach. This is very interesting. And you mind telling us about that and what made you want to get into it?
Absolutely. So I've always been fascinated with psychology, but I've
Yes.
always had kind of an issue with just the illness aspect of psychology. And
Hmm.
when I came upon the work of Martin Seligman and other positive psychologists, it just resonated with me because it
Hmm.
was more focused on what is right with me versus what is wrong with me and how I can have more of those right things happen in life. And that's the same approach that I take to the work I do with procrastination. It's less focused on what am I not doing or how I am delaying or how am I holding back? And it's more focused on, okay, what's working? And how can we make more of that happen
Oh my
every day?
You're already dropped. I never thought about it like that. I always look towards the negative aspect of it, and then that continues the
Yep,
negative, the rumination in my head.
yep,
You're
yep, yep. It just goes in a downward spiral because think about it, our brain is built to protect us. And it's built to protect us from anything that feels unsafe. And we often want to just think it'll be an accident or some major occurrence that makes us feel unsafe. But fear makes us feel unsafe. Vulnerability makes us feel unsafe. Change, the unknown, all these things make us feel unsafe. And so, what the brain's going to do is its natural response is to protect you from that. It doesn't want you to experience that feeling. And so it's going to find all the reasons to have you not do that. And we can come up with a ton to avoid that feeling. That's what it
I
does. We have
am
to counter it.
I'm so triggered right now. I'm really hiding it. I am so triggered.
I'm with you, sis. I'm here with you.
May I share something with you?
Please.
So, as you were talking and triggering me, unknowingly triggering me, one of my good friends, I don't know if she's watching. Hello, Tanisha. If you're listening or watching, there's been a long running joke from literally 20 years ago that whenever I get overwhelmed,
Mhm,
something that triggering a situation, and I'm on the phone with her and I'm describing and I'm telling her, and I said, you know what? I got to go. I got to take a nap.
mhm,
That's been a running joke.
mhm.
But until talking with different experts, I didn't realize that I was disassociating.
Yep.
I'm thinking it just happens when you're in a car accident, but
Mhm.
no. And then you're telling me right now how your brain protects you from
Yep.
fear.
Yep. Over, and it protects you from overwhelm and from doubt. All of those feelings, all of those negative emotions that we don't want to experience, once we interpret them as threatening, and that's the key right there. Once we interpret them as threatening, our brain is going to automatically, this is not you doing it. Your brain automatically creates this response. You have no control over that part.
Mm.
Once something scary presents itself, your brain automatically releases the hormones your body needs to protect you from that. immediately. What you get to do is choose, how am I going to respond after my brain begins to automatically protect me? I can either continue down that path of fear and terror and overwhelm, or I can take a breath, practice, grounding techniques that then communicate to my brain, I can handle this. This is okay. And then your brain begins to calm down. It tells your body, oh, she doesn't need all of this right now. She's got this. I can back off.
Oh, have to take a deep breath on that one.
See, you're doing it right now.
I
You're
have
doing it right now.
because I am overwhelmed. All jokes, I'm laughing and grinning, but I am very
Yes.
overwhelmed because yeah, what you said earlier is so true. We have these experiences of procrastination, but we avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's overwhelming, but
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of like when you go to Weight Watchers and you've eaten 18 cupcakes, 25 Snicker bars, and
Yeah.
a gallon of Diet
Yeah.
Coke, and you have to step on that weight, that scale.
And your hands start getting sweaty. The heat starts rising in your body because you know what's about to happen.
Yes. So we are talking about procrastination. I'm going to pull up a banner, and you kind of touched on it already, but and everyone watching this, all
Mm-hmm.
this goodness, all these tips, they all came from LaDana's Instagram. And definitely go to her Instagram. It's in the show notes, and you can click on it and you can see all the wonderful nuggets that she has. So I got this. And remember, this is an audio
Yeah.
podcast as well. So can you read and describe what you see on the screen?
Absolutely. So procrastination, it's a noun, and it is the action of delaying or postponing something.
Hmm.
Mhm. Now, you see what I love about this definition, and a lot of people miss it, is that we often think procrastination is passive,
What do you
but it
mean?
isn't passive. Like, just like, okay, let's use the example of your nap. You probably never realized that you were actively making a choice to nap, so much so that it became your habitual response to an overwhelming situation, which again, going back to the neuroscience, our brain loves routine. And so once we create that routine, when the situation presents itself again, your brain goes, aha, I know what to do here. Overwhelm equals take a nap.
Oh, wow. It's like muscle memory.
It's like muscle memory. And so after a while, we just start to believe it feels passive, but it is an active process. And because it's an active process, you can make an active decision to do something differently.
Hmm. Mm. So, well, we'll get into that because I was going to ask you, well, how do we do this? But that'll bring us to our next graphic. And if you don't mind reading it.
Mhm. So, mindful. It is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations.
Mm.
And I'm gonna point out why these different things were placed there, and that's primarily because I think the antidote to procrastination is mindfulness or mindful habits, whichever resonates more with you. And I say that because procrastination, in and of itself, altogether, is less an issue of managing time as it is an issue of managing our emotions. Often we procrastinate because there's an emotion that we want to avoid. There is something about this experience that we want to escape. whether it's fear, whether it's boredom, whether it's overwhelm, whether it's feeling incompetent, whether it's feeling like deep, heavy things are going to come as a result of me going through this experience. There is some negative emotion involved with a particular task, event, occurrence, whatever, that we want to avoid. So we're either focused on how it felt in the past, right? Something may have happened in the past that we're placing on this current event,
Right.
or we're so worried about the future. What may happen if I don't get this right? What may happen if this isn't gone wrong? So, what we're actively missing in that picture is being focused on this present moment. What is happening right now?
Amazing. And my mind is blown right now. I never thought about how we go back to the past. Let me rephrase that. I'm finding out through therapy and I'm learning
Hmm.
with different experience how your mind goes back.
Yeah.
But I never thought about it like that with relating to procrastination.
Hmm.
Never.
Hmm.
My
Hmm.
mind is blown right now.
Hmm. Because think about it, think about it.
Woo.
And let's continue to use your experience,
Sure.
right? Um, Everything we know, everything we understand about the world, when it comes to how our brain creates that, it's really just filtered through our worldview and our past experiences. Those are the materials that our brain has to work with. Like our brain only knows this is a hand,
Right.
right? Our brain sees color, it sees the shapes, it sees the structure, and our past experience from a child, somebody told us this was a hand. If they told us this was a truck, we would believe this was a truck because that's what the brain would have learned. But we learned this is a hand. These five things structured this way, attached to the arm,
Mm.
this is a hand. So going forward, whenever we see this, whether it's on our body or somebody else's body or in a picture, our brain goes, aha, yes, these five things put together attached to the arm in this shape, this is a hand. The same thing happens with everything else. If I had a particular experience with a particular event, if something similar to that arises, my brain's going to do the same thing. What do I already know? I already know this from the past. Or I know this because this is how she views the world now. And it's going to interpret that through those filtered lens. So sometimes our brain gets it wrong because our past experiences are incomplete in their truth. That's the best way for me to say it.
Wow. Amazing. I I'm gonna have to process this later because I have to continue to do I will I call her processing Patty. We have a long talks all the time. I mean, wow. I never thought about it like that. Let me read some of the comments here. So blind guy, hey Laquita, blind guy and his wife and their life. She said avoiding procrastination is a whole other level. Ooh, a whole other level of procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I thought it was a verb, not a noun, but it's still bad. LOL. I never thought about it like that either. This is something else.
But it's so true because, okay, think about it. I want to do something. I don't want to experience the feeling that comes with it. So I'm going to try and avoid procrastinating, which will then just keep me in a cycle of procrastinating in a different way.
Latane,
So now, instead of dealing with one emotion from one painful thing, I'm now going to deal with the subsequent emotion that's going to come from this avoidance. And I'm just extending the stressful experience as a result. It's not going to disappear, it just intensifies.
I feel so exposed and seen right now because
Those are two beautiful things. exposed and seen. See, that's beautiful to put together. I love that.
Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to be transparent. It's just I'm not gonna fight it anymore because it's too much. So,
We
okay.
fight it because we're so afraid of our emotions. But I really want to help everyone out because this was a turning point for me learning this. And
Hmm.
this is the work of like Barbara Fredrickson, another positive psychologist, and she focuses on emotions.
Mhm.
Um, and the way she puts it, which is remarkable, our emotions is just data. It's information. It's
Mhm.
basically bringing our attention to a need that hasn't been met.
Can you
Or
repeat
it's,
it again? There's a lot of background noise.
I am so sorry. Let me point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, that I am a mom of three newborn
Oh,
twins who I'm trying to have managed right now to show you that you can still make life happen even when things go awry. Okay?
wow. I love
They
it.
are now silenced.
I didn't know you had
Okay?
twins.
So, sis, your life can go on. Okay? You can have it all.
I love every bit of you know what? And I saw something on your Instagram about multitask. I gotta have you back. I gotta have you back. I mean, please say yes. So let's think about it, but please say yes.
I would
So,
love to. This is great chatting with you.
oh, thank you so
Right.
much.
Oh, sorry. So, as I was saying,
Yes.
emotion, think about emotions as information. So, whether it's a need that's being met or a need that is unmet, your emotions are simply indicating to you, hey, something's going on right now. There are
Mhm.
positive emotions, and there are emotions that we don't, but I would like to refer to them more as pleasant and unpleasant versus positive and negative, right? So there are pleasant emotions that we have, and there are unpleasant ones. Both of those are important to our well being.
Right.
We need both of them to be well because we need to know when we're feeling sad or hurt or upset or angry or frustrated. We
Mm,
need to know when we're feeling joy and love and happiness. We need to, our body needs both, even the hard, unpleasant ones. And
mm,
if we take the time to think about it that way, more like, what is this trying to tell me? Versus, oh, this is really hard. This is too hard. I don't want to feel it. Become curious about it. What is it trying to
mm,
say? It may actually surprise you.
mm. So what I hear you saying is that you need duality to progress?
You do. You do. It's similar to stress. We also want to run away from stress. Nobody wants to feel stressed. And the stress that we're talking about is really chronic stress, the stress that you don't actually manage, the stress that you allow to pile up. But
Right.
we do need a little bit of stress in our lives because
Why?
that's what helps us to put our pedal to the metal, to take that exam, to change our career, to leave that relationship, or to start that relationship. We
Mhm,
need that balance. We need a
mhm,
little bit, enough to create action. I like to think about stress as, the a pot of boiling water, right? We
mhm.
want just enough bubbles for there to be energy. We don't want the pot boiling over. We don't want the water flat.
Ah, okay, okay.
Because if
I
the water
get
is
it.
flat, nothing's happening. If it's boiling over, then we're overwhelmed. But if that bubbling is happening, that bit of energy is moving, that's when things are going. That's where your food gets cooked,
I love
right?
that.
We need
S
a little bit of that.
So how can someone differentiate if they're just being lazy or if they are truly suffering from procrastination. Oh, and before you answer that, any of the listeners, if you have any questions for LaDana, please type them in the comment section as well. But please.
No. Cool. Okay. So, how do you know you're lazy versus whether you're procrastinating? First and
Mhm.
foremost, that's something that you would have to answer. And I say that because you have to get curious. And here's why I'll say that: laziness is habitual, right? It is a habit that we're building up over time. I
Mhm.
need to do something, and I just don't feel like doing that something right now, right?
Mhm.
And I don't feel like doing that something right now simply because, wow, they are getting very excited upstairs right now. They are, I think my boys want to be on the show
I
with
think
me.
so. They have something to say.
They, they are very, very vocal right now. My apologies, everyone. Okay. My apologies. I'm like sending messages upstairs through, bird pigeons to turn this down.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, as I was saying, they're both very habitual. But I
Mhm.
think the distinguishing factor between laziness and procrastination is our willingness.
Mm.
Being lazy, I am not willing to do what is to be done. When I'm procrastinating, I want to, need to know this is to be done. I am avoiding what is to be done.
Mm.
That's how I see the difference. I'm just unwilling to do it, not because it's not something I can do, cannot do, afraid to do, want to do.
Mhm.
I'm unwilling to do so. With procrastination, you see this when you think about perfectionists, for example. I so badly want this to be perfect that I avoid it. Not because I'm unwilling, but because I'm terrified by the outcome if it doesn't meet the standard that I've set.
With that being said, that will take us to our next graphic. If you don't mind, let me read this comment first. So, blind guy and his wife said, enough balance to create action.
Mhm.
That's my excuse for laziness and procrastination. These folks around me keep messing up my balance. I'm never going to blame me. And I co-sign. What's the problem?
I love it. I love it. I love how I'm never going to blame me because you primarily know it's you. So I love that. I love that ownership at the end. You go on.
She also says we love the kids. Let them be at home. No worries.
Ah, thank you. See, that is compassion at its finest. And this is what we need to give
Yes.
ourselves more of: self compassion. Things will not always be perfect, but we cannot stop life. We got to keep going.
Yes. I like that. We got oh Sherry Weeks said my middle name is procrastination.
I love it. I actually like to refer to myself as a high functioning procrastinator. If with that too.
Okay. I think I haven't heard it, but I can relate. While I have a few people on here, can we play One's Gotta Go? So,
Sure.
yeah, because I want to go into the different types. But everyone, all your listeners, if you are still on, wait, we have somebody else. She said, that's me. Yeah. We're going to go into different types of procrastination. If you all can put in the comments, what's your favorite form of procrastination? You stay on the phone, you're texting, or you go to social media and you scroll and you search and you stalk, or you like to go to sleep like me, or do you like to watch TV?
When you're done getting their answers, I'll give you my geek answer, which is how my sister refers to it. She's like, you are like the most annoying geek of a procrastinator.
Well, let's hear it while we wait.
Research. So I will just research every. I will just research. I know I'm
Ma'am.
procrastinating once I start researching for no reason. Just, this sounds like an interesting topic. Let me go down this deep rabbit hole and find a bunch of journal articles regarding it for no reason.
And Kat in the chat, which I love that
Everything.
name.
Cat
Hello.
in the chat.
She said all of the above. And Sherry says she loves the reading.
But isn't it a tough one though? Like, I get it. It's like personal development, but at the same time, we know we're reading just to escape in a way. Is that's such a nice procrastinating method. But yeah, I
Mm.
can see that. I can see that for sure.
Yeah. So I'll use you as an example. So as I'm going through your Instagram and I'm trying to put a format of the show, so then I was so engrossed in what you had, and I went down maybe 4 different rabbit holes, knowing damn well I need to create the format, but I'm transparent moment. I lied to myself. Well, this is for research. I have to look up LaDana's
Hmm.
information, but I really needed to create the graphics, put a format together, and
Hmm.
then guess what? Who was scrambling around last night fighting
Yeah, trying
the
to squeeze it
Benadryl.
all.
Yeah, trying to get it all and done, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah,
And Sherry said, "But I don't get my work
right,
done."
right.
Sherry,
Yeah,
yeah,
because she's reading. Yeah, she's like, what's the next best book on this list?
yeah. It's like I'm
For
not
sure.
sleeping, so what's the problem,
Yeah.
girl?
There's one method that I've had to use that has been very helpful in helping me to be productive because I know that that's how my brain works.
Mm,
And I call it on the lineup. And basically, whenever those thoughts come in my head, I literally just scribble them down for later because I don't want to forget them. I keep worrying that they're important and I'm going to want to know what it is.
let
And
me write that.
so on my day, I just put it on the lineup and I have it there. And I just know that's something I can always go back to later once I've
Meaning,
done what I need to do.
meaning it's something that's important, but not
Even if
paramount.
it's unimportant, even if it's random. Like
Oh, okay.
like I randomly go, oh, you know what? I wonder if I should get better selfie light. And I know what will happen now. My mind will automatically go. My brain goes, oh, better selfie light. Let's go look for it. Let's search all the new selfie lights available.
Like Amazon, here I come.
Here I go. I'll be like, I'm gonna be a selfie light professional by the time we are done here. I can probably sell selfie lights. No, so just have
I
to
like that
write
too.
it down. Look up selfie lights later.
Okay. I love it. So let's revisit the different types of procrastinators.
Yeah.
I had some questions, but I wanted to wait to hear from you. So I'm going to read. Actually, yeah, I'll read the first one.
Mhm.
And this is titled Four Types of Procrastinators, a Focus on Challenges and Solutions. And this is from LaDana's Instagram. So if you forget, you can always go to her Instagram. So one I'm reading is the self-deprecator.
Mhm.
You mind explaining that?
Yes.
I never heard of that.
That's okay. Now, this is, and I am, you'll learn from me, a master credit giver because it takes all our work together for
Mm-hmm.
us to learn and grow. So this type, there's so many different ways people have broken down procrastinators. And I personally resonate with the work of these two coaches, Ali
Mm-hmm.
Schiller and Marissa Boisvert, and they've broken them down into these four categories. So the self-deprecator, I am so lazy right now. That's basically the identifying statement. They'll have
Mhm.
different statements, but this is the main identifying statement that will come up. And I found that I've been in this position before. You come home or you have a big project that's due or whatever it may be, and you just want to laze around right now. You're like, oh my gosh, I just want to chill right now. I'm feeling so lazy. I'll do it in like 3 hours when I'm recharged. But guess what? You
Mhm.
never actually do anything to recharge. So you're still going to feel that way going forward. When it comes to the self-deprecator, this is more of a wellness factor than anything else. Is that your body itself doesn't have the efficient energy it needs to do the task. And so
Mm.
what's important is giving your body what it needs so you can do the task. You actually do need to take that break, but
So,
you need to
excuse
take
me.
that break to recharge.
So, is this when you say something that the body needs, is this something psychologically or is this
It can be
physically?
many different things. It could be physical, it could be psychologically. You may have had a very emotional week, right?
Right.
And you have something that's due at the end of the week, but your body literally needs a mental break so that it can be creative again. Or you may not have been sleeping well, or you're not hydrated. And so you actually cannot pull the energy to do the task. That's why when I love the question you asked about laziness versus procrastinating, because it's not that you're not willing to do the work. You physically cannot pull the energy you need to do it. And so the key
Interesting.
here would be to actually take that break to recharge, not laze around, actively recharge, right? So you're going to actively go take a nap, meaning that is a decision you're making for the purpose of recharging. You're not going to laze
Mhm.
around until you fall asleep, right? You're going to
Right.
actively take a shower, take a bath, journal, talk it out, get hydrated, eat, whatever it is your body needs so you can go do the task.
Genius. I never thought about that. I I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. The novelty seeker.
Now, if
Let's
I'm sure
talk
you
to
could
me.
probably guess that I may fall into this category based on what I've had to do to myself to maintain my intention. So, the novelty seeker always has a next idea.
Mm,
Oh my goodness, this is the best ever. So, I've started this project. I'm like, all right, I'm doing this essay. I work with high school students in my day job, so you might find a lot of my examples will be like school related, or I'm
right.
working with professional women. So you'll get like two different kinds of examples each time.
Okay.
So I'm doing this essay. I understand what the topic is. I kind of have my points. I have my research, and I'm about to get it done. And midway the essay, I'm like, oh my gosh, but I should have totally gone in this other direction. And now I feel like all the work I did before doesn't meet what I want to meet. And the work ahead of me is too much to change. So what's going to happen? I'm feeling super overwhelmed now. Now I'm overwhelmed because I feel like the direction I was going in is not right, but the path I want to take now is too much to change. So what's going to happen here now? Now I'm going to say I've got to start over all kinds of research, brand new, take a break, stop writing, whatever. I'm just going to delay my next step because I feel so overwhelmed. So for the novelty seeker who always has a next best idea, it's literally practicing to finish what you start. And you'll see in that same one, what's the solution? Something I have to practice myself. Write down the idea, but
Mm.
focus on completing what you have right now.
Okay, I just learned something else about myself. I am a novelty seeker because when I tell you my rabbit hole game is tight, okay? Girl. And before, okay, here's another exposure. transparent moment.
No problem.
So what's today? Wednesday.
Hmm.
Monday night, I was preparing for our show. Remember, I'm supposed to get the format.
Hmm.
I went down a rabbit. I think I started about 10 o'clock at night. Ask me what time I went to bed. I
I want to
started at
say
10 p.m.,
I want to say 4.
5 a.m.
Oh
And
my
I
goodness.
still didn't get the work done. Moving on. My
Yeah.
goddamn.
Yeah. And the thing is, and look at it, right? When you're in the moment, everything feels so overwhelming. Again, going back to the concept of past and future, right? Because the work that you've been doing and the future feeling is so big. But look at how simple the solution is. In this present moment, write it down and then
Yes.
finish what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come back to, you may even realize, I actually didn't need to go in that direction after all. Or I am content that this is not the direction I'm supposed to be going in.
Ooh. Ooh.
And I
Ow.
can confidently make that switch.
Ouch. This hurts. But I need to hear it. And I'm sure other people listening need to hear it as well. We have a comment. She said, "This visual is so
Oh,
good.
thank you.
Is this accessible somewhere? It's such a useful tool." So, yes, if you go to LaDana's Instagram, which is the same name, I'm going to put it on here. Better yet, how
Yep,
about
it's
this? Why don't you take a screenshot? Anybody watching, take a screenshot of the screen right now. That's LaDana's website. And this is her Instagram handle as well. It's
yeah, so it's at
LaDana.
LaDana Manhertz-Smith. Go ahead.
Yes, at LaDana Manhertz-Smith. And it's also in the show notes as well. This is some good stuff. Talking to you, I'm literally peeling back different layers that I didn't know about myself subconsciously.
Yes, it's really one of those common experiences that we just don't dive into deeply enough. And the deeper we dive into it, the more productive we'll become by making the smallest changes in our lives. Which is
Mm,
what I love about, like, it takes these smallest changes to create big results when it comes to procrastination once we actually understand what's going on.
mm, hmm. Let's go to the next.
Hmm.
The
Which one do you want to choose?
performer.
The performer, yes. So the performer is in. Let me hear some people testify, because I don't think there's a procrastinator out there who's probably never said this sentence: I work well under pressure. This was me all through university, all through my academic career.
Right.
I need the pressure of the 3 o'clock. That's when the good ideas come at 3 a.m., when I'm down to the wire. And the primary problem with this is, one, it's a big fat lie that we're telling ourselves, okay? Because I'm sorry, you said me straight. You said me straight on here. It is a big fat lie, okay? We do not work well under pressure. Our brain does not work well under pressure. As a matter of fact, the more stress our body experiences, the less creative we become. But I want to stick a pin right there for a second, because there was this very interesting research that talked about a delayed start that is so small between having your task assigned and actually doing it, about 5 or so minutes at least delaying about that time. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see the research there too,
Hmm.
where they found that persons who started immediately versus persons who delayed for an extended period of time, actually, the ones who delayed for a short period of time between being assigned a task and starting that task
Hmm.
were 28% more creative in their solutions.
If they delayed.
Yeah. So this is one way that you can use procrastination to your benefit, but it's a
What?
short delay. It's like a 5-10 minute delay to allow your brain time to synthesize information and next steps. So not jumping out the gate or not taking too long, delaying just enough that your brain gets time to begin to put things into place. I
Wow.
know, I know, I know. So the performer believes this is how they're functioning. And that's what the lie is. So what happens is the performer then ends up putting out any kind of work, but because the performer knows that they have more ability than this, they can then get away with saying, well, I did at the last minute, so it wasn't my best work, so whatever. Technically, and my sister and I had this ongoing joke back in university. If I did my assignment at 3 a.m. and I got an A minus, that was an A paper. Because if I had actually taken the time to do it, then
Mm.
I clearly would have gotten an A. So, really, do I need to put out any more effort? I don't. The problem with the performer is they really struggle with actually just getting started.
I feel
And
so
that's what you
seen.
just need to do. Just start. And I
Yeah.
and I work with a lot of clients, a lot of high school students, and I think what makes it hard, and this is what I found to be helpful for performers especially, is breaking things down into such tiny pieces that it feels super doable.
I did see that on your Instagram with somebody. It was a graphic and it was
Yeah,
a big sheet of paper, and that was the task, but the person ripped it up in small pieces, and you had said, take little pieces at a time. You will
tiny
get it
pieces.
done. Tiny pieces.
I had a client I was working with. She was supposed to take her certification exam. It had now been going close to the what 6 months, almost a year,
Right.
just for her to take the exam. She had done all the pieces, done everything. Everything was set. Everything was set to be done. All she had to do was take the exam, and it had taken her 6 months to even start taking the exam. We started
Really?
working together, and I broke down together. We worked to break down her getting started to literally the tabs on her computer screen. Like when I
Really?
say small, I am not joking. I mean the smallest thing. And for a lot of my performers, I bring it right down to just thinking about what I need to do and then actually writing out what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are the pieces attached to what I need to do? And what is the simplest, smallest step I can take to get it done? And for her, it was leaving up the practice page site as the only tab at the end of the day. So when she opened her computer, her laptop in the morning, that would be the only tab present. She took her exam within 3 weeks of us starting to work together.
Really? That's amazing.
I was even surprised.
Wow.
I was even surprised.
And that's small, but
It's so
huge.
small, but it has big results. Big results. Small, tiny, mindful, intentional changes, big results.
Wow. I love it. I had a lot of processing to do. Ooh, I need to give myself an allotted time to process.
There you go.
I'm
There you go.
learning.
An allotted time to
Yeah.
process, just like an allotted time to worry. We can talk about that another day. Spending time
Please.
to worry.
Yeah. So, before we go on to the last graphic, Sherry Weeks said, So tonight I had a deadline to get work to my supervisor. The deadline was 5 p.m., but I started at 4:10. LOL.
Classic performer right there. Hi, Sherry. Nice to meet you. Also, procrastinator recovering. We
Hey,
here with you,
Sherry.
sis. I get it.
And then blind guy and his wife said, I'm gonna screenshot that address later. Nah, I got it. No procrastination. So we're learning. We're learning.
Look at progress.
Your words are resonating. And just for you, Laquita, I am going to put up the graphic because we have one more. And I don't want to take too much of LaDana's time. I respect her mommyhood. Here we go. And you can take a screenshot of that as well, Lakita. Let me get this off. There we go. So the last type of procrastinator we're going to discuss tonight. Oh, by the way, I am a performer as well. But moving
You'll
on.
find yourself reflected in quite a few. I think I'm definitely somewhat of a between those two, the novelty seeker and the performer,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
The overbooker. Let's talk about that.
Right. So this
Let's
is the
discuss.
overbooker. I enjoy overbookers so much.
Why?
And I'll give you an example of one that I worked with also. I love overbookers because there's just something so fun about sifting through the chaos and having them finally see a path forward. And there's something so exciting about having them create boundaries, which is something overbookers struggle with, creating healthy boundaries, fully understanding what they're capable of doing and what they're not capable of doing, and actually being clear about that. So the identifying statement for an overbooker is I'm so busy. Oh my gosh, I got school, I got work, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm starting my business, I'm coaching in the evenings, I got track, I'm all the things. Every second of their day is covered with a something, right? And they literally create this chaos to avoid things that they actually need to do. So I
Girl.
have this thing to do. So instead, I'm going to go clean the house. I'm going to go do some laundry. I got to comb my kids' hair. I got to do all this stuff, all the other stuff. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I
I'm
told you you'd see yourself resonated.
triggered. Like my hair is literally going up. Like
I got all this stuff I need to do. All the stuff.
that really resonates. AL said she is so on point.
Oh, thanks. All the stuff. I got all the stuff to do. Everything except the one thing I'm supposed to be doing. I got one thing to do. And I listen, I am like, if you want to see me clean house, let me have a project to do, sis. I will pull down everything. Everything but the one thing.
It, this really has hit a nerve with me because this just happened recently. I had a task to complete. Why did I get the urge to clean out my closet?
Immediately.
But
Immediately.
wait, on top, here's the next layer. I didn't even finish the closet
But why
because
would you?
why would I? Because I picked up my phone and then I became rabbit hole Rebecca, and there we go. 18
Yeah.
hours went by,
Yeah.
and the cycle
going
is
back to going back to the previous comment about avoiding the procrastination. So you're cleaning out your closet to avoid doing this task, but then I'm pretty sure in the midst of cleaning the closet that became a bit overwhelming, and so you're like, let me go check my phone for something real quick because I need to delay on this delay that I've created for myself right now. That's the overbooker. Okay.
absolutely. So, now you really have me thinking because I love what you said about how an overbooker creates chaos. But now I'm thinking that goes back, and you let me know,
Hmm.
back to the mental health of everything, because how we create chaos in our lives, we don't hold boundaries in our
Hmm.
lives or with other people or within
Hmm.
ourselves.
Hmm.
Is this how it spills over into
This is
task and life?
exactly how it spills over because guess what it makes us feel? It makes us feel like we're accomplishing something, right? It makes us feel like we're doing, and that doing is avoiding and basically for a time stifling the bigger things we need to deal with. And we do this in our relationships. We do this in our own personal experiences, like bar just work or tasks.
Mhm.
We do it in our lives, in our friendships. Something needs to be handled. We keep busy with all the things around it, all the
Yes.
things, all the things around it. And then it just sits there. But here's the thing about emotions, they don't go away. They patiently wait until there's an empty space. Do you know why mental health issue was on the rise during the pandemic? There was space.
Mhm. Yes.
We
Yes, I
finally had space.
Mhm.
And once that space is created, all the stuff that we were delaying on, brain's like, oh, oh, room. There's room now.
Yeah.
Maybe now she'll pay attention. There's space now. So all that's just going to start rising up. It's going to still be there. And that's why the solution for someone who struggles with this overbooking tendency is introspection. What do I value right now? What is
Wow.
important right now? What do I need to prioritize right now? What do I need to attend to right now? Going back to the whole mindfulness in this present moment, what do I need to attend to? And that
Mm.
will help us to sift through the chaos.
Wow. That's some good stuff, LaDana.
And you'll see, and I wanna also specifically point out that these four characteristics, it's not saying that you as a procrastinator are an overbooker or you are a novelty seeker. At different points in your experience, at different points in your life, at different points depending on the event, you may find yourself in one or more of these categories. The
Mhm.
key is knowing what to do. What do I do if I find I'm going down the rabbit hole? I need to write it down and finish what I'm doing right now. What do I need to do if I'm feeling that I don't have the energy to go forward? I need to recharge. I need to take a break. What do I do when I find that I'm putting myself off to do a 5 o'clock task at 4:10? I need to be more intentional about getting started. What do I
Mhm.
do if I find that I'm creating that chaos and booking myself with all kind of things because I want to avoid something right now? I need to pause for a minute and figure out what's important right now in this moment. That's the key. Knowing what to do when you
I
find
love
that you're in
that.
that situation.
I love that. It's the solutions for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
May I keep you on 10 more minutes?
Sure, you're fine.
Okay, good. Because I want to read some of the comments and it's going to segue into, first of all, anybody listening, everyone listening, if you would love for LaDana to come on again and be a return guest, put some light bulb emojis or hearts in the chat. So she needs to see it because I want her to come back because I definitely want to. I didn't know that the show was going to take this turn, but I'm so glad because I believe once we understand I was I was concentrating on what to do, but I love how you came in with the why we
Yes.
do it. So next time, if you would love to come, oh, okay, hold on. Here comes all the, geez.
Oh, yay! Oh, I would be happy to.
Look, we have a
I've been
lot of light.
having such a good time with you guys. Yes, please.
Sherry said, thank you. I needed a solution. We have some more light bulb emojis. Here we go. Oh, here's another one.
Yay!
Here's some hearts. I would love for you to come back and go into the what to do, but I want to read this comment. Let's see. Well, there's a few, and this what made me ask you again. So, Kat in the chat says, "I don't know if there is any saving me. I feel like a mixture of all of them." And
I want to
Kat,
say something to Kat in the chat real quick based on this.
please. Mm-hmm.
Kat, you have just done something remarkable for yourself, which says that you're worth saving after all, because awareness is progress. Before now, you weren't even aware clearly of how this shows up. But this sentence says you are aware now. And that awareness is your first step to interrupting your habitual patterns as they are right now. This
Mm,
awareness is the beginning of interrupting. See, we'll keep procrastinating because it's rewarding. Any behavior that's rewarded, our brain's going to keep doing it unless we interrupt it. And I'm sorry, this podcast tonight began your interruption. You just got to keep it going now.
it began all of our interruptions. It did. Blind guy and his wife said, "If Rabbit Hole Rebecca is on the road to recovery, then there's hope for me and you too." And she's talking to
Oh, I
Cat in the
love the
chat.
support. Nice. Yes,
Yeah.
community.
Yes. And Cat in the chat said, haha, right, right. Right on. I'm willing to keep
Nice.
trying until I get it
That's
right.
right. Progress over perfection.
Let me write that down. I love that. And you're getting more light bulb emojis.
Thank you guys. Thank you all.
So to kind of wrap everything up somewhat, or excuse me, until we put a pin in it until
Pin.
next time,
Mhm.
what is give us a little teaser, something that one person can do, like one thing, even if it's small, to get us started on our road to becoming
Recovery.
recovering procrastinators.
Okay. So I'm going to give you one thing and then I'm going to give you the next step to that one thing because the two things will work best together. Okay.
Mm,
And it's awareness plus action. Awareness plus action. The first step is to become aware and to just own in that moment that I am about to procrastinate. Period. Just recognize this is overwhelming and I'm about to delay.
like
And
being
many of you
proactive about it.
being very proactive about it. And many of you point on the chat, you know your tendencies. I think some had said reading, writing, all the above, social media. So you know what your habit is the minute something feels overwhelming or you don't want to do it. Become aware of that happening. Until you do that, nothing will change. That's the interruption that we're talking about. The awareness is the interruption. So I'm what in my 30s. If I've been procrastinating for 30 odd years, I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and no longer be a procrastinator.
Right,
Like
right,
I have mastered the craft of procrastinating. The
right.
only way for me to do that is to create a new pathway that says I'm not traveling that road anymore. And for me to
Mm,
know that, to do that, is to know I'm about to make that left turn and not make
mhm.
it. So become aware, intentionally, proactively recognize I'm about to read this book because I don't want to do this task.
May I share something with you?
Mhm,
So I'm an avid racquetball player. And one of my racquetball players, he had suffered or suffers from having seizures. He's had them for his entire life.
mhm,
So I didn't know this at the time. We were getting ready to play. We were playing racquetball. We were in the middle of a game, and he just stopped and he just walked out of the court.
mhm,
So I'm inquiring, like, what's going on? Well, our other racquetball friends said, well, he knows he's about to have a seizure. So he knew it was going to happen.
That's
So
right.
instead of talking about it or whatever, he knew what to do because he felt the onset of a
That's right.
seizure.
That's right. He recognized
Recognized it.
those signs. He was aware of what it
Yes.
felt like. He was aware of the signs leading up to. He was aware of the effect of him not doing something about it, and aware of the effect of him doing something about it. And look at how powerful that was. He could have stayed on that court if he wasn't aware, had a seizure, it would have been a whole thing.
Right.
But instead, he took control of something that made him feel out of control by
Mm,
managing the parts of it that he could. He could walk away. He can go into a safe place. He can assume a safe position. The same thing with our procrastination. I can recognize that I'm about to scroll social media. I'm about to take a nap. I'm about to read a book. I'm about to go journal. I'm about to lie on this couch because I don't want to do this right now.
mm-hmm.
And then I can take action. I can choose to do something differently.
Mm. Blind guy and his wife said, wow, recognize the signs so we
Mhm.
can manage it at the onset and take
Exactly.
control.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
That is
that's
exact awareness plus action.
that's a gem right there. It really
I
is.
love the way you said that, blind guy. That is perfect.
Yes. Very insightful, Laquita. Wow. So, yeah, I definitely would love to have you on again.
I would love to be back. This was wonderful.
Oh,
This is so great. I love that you're doing this for our community. It's so
thank
needed.
it is. You are like one of my wonderful guests. Like I have they're all wonderful, but some just stick out. And who knew it was one of the guests that was triggering me the most.
I told you we'd make it fun.
You know what? You did, and you said it, and you did. You were aware, plus you gave the action.
I know. I was aware of how triggering, and I took action to make it feel less triggering by trying to make it fun.
So Sherry Weeks said, wow, when I'm about to have a migraine,
Mhm.
I'm aware of the signs. I never knew this. See,
Yes.
that's what it's about. This is the learning. This is
Yes.
healing. This is
Yes.
healing.
It is. It is. We have choice, and we keep surrendering our choices to those habits. We get to choose the
Mm,
habits that we get to keep. We get to choose that. But if we aren't intentional, our habits then take over our choice.
yes. I felt like that was a punch in my chest right there. Serious. Woo. So when we finish, please stay on. I want to chat with you
No, sure.
after. So before we wrap up, tell us anything else that you have going on so that we can follow you or you have any other projects.
Sure. So yeah, so you can follow me at LaDana Manhertz-Smith on Instagram. When you go on my page, you'll see procrastination and mindful habits. That's my jam. I really believe that you can beat procrastination and achieve your goals with mindful habits and consistent action. That I strongly believe that. I've learned that in my own life, and I see that happen with people that I work with. So that's where you'll find me every day, pretty much doing what I can to make this less fun. I mean, less stressful, more fun. Is the
Mhm.
best way for me to say that. Recently just finished a 90-day planner, so you can get that as well. It's both a journal and planner. Um, so it's pretty fun. You get to reset your life as you schedule your day. I feel like what better two things to have happen than that? And working with my coach bestie, Reset to Reboot Mastermind. This is an incredible group of women where our job, our work together is about optimizing productivity, optimizing our abilities to achieve our goals. And that runs for 4 months at a time, twice a year. And so we just started the cohort for this year. So it'll be pretty exciting for you to check out. If you want to be a part of, I'm talking like really high achieving women who just need to nip this in the bud so they can get the things in life that they want. And we'd love for you to be a part of our community. So those are the projects that I'm working on pretty much.
I love it. Yeah, I'm going to go on that reset to reboot.com. I want to check that out. When you're
Mhm.
talking and describing it, I hear mastermind.
Yes. Yes. So that's exactly what it is. So we come together twice a month. We do training, and there's also group coaching involved, which is also fun. We bring in guests just like this who talk about specialist topics, finances, relationships,
Mm.
so that we can grow a person with incredible stories, climbed mountains. I think one recently we've had a couple multimillionaires at our retreat come on. That was pretty exciting. It's just such a wonderful community of women who've made a decision to reset their lives every day
Right.
so that they are living the life that they want, not just living for the sake of it. And there have been so many success stories. Women have started businesses because of it, lost
Wow.
weight because of it. It's all these individual goals that women come in with, and we collectively work on it together.
That sounds so amazing.
It is. It really is.
Mm. Oh, you know what? One more thing, LaDana. Guess what?
Yeah.
You are a Black girl that has her shift together.
Ah!
You are so cute.
I love it.
Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I hope LaDana chooses a date sooner than later to come on so we can peel some more layers off of this onion, because this is what we need in our lives. We need it. And I'll let Sherry have the last word. She said, "This was a
Oh,
great podcast. Thank
thank
you."
you. Thank you. I enjoyed it too. I really had a great time. Thank you for all your questions and comments. Thank you for engaging. This is wonderful. This is what it's all about, right? Learning and growing together.
Absolutely. And you were a wonderful guest. Everyone, tune in next week. Check my social media, which is Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. And everything is in the comments, the description box of the comments, so that you can see what the next topic is going to be. Oh, wait, we have a couple more. People are still sliding in. Oh, you're getting some more heart emojis.
Oh, thank
And
you.
AL said thank you. And we will
You are
end
most
on
welcome.
that note. You all have a beautiful evening. A namaste and journey well.
This for the queens, sisters manifesting their dreams. Get your cream by any means and beam with self-esteem. Beauty supreme and Buddha walk so mean. The way you fit in them jeans, you eat your cornbread and greens. Dance or a doctor, red wine or vodka. Redesign your spot and redefine your mantra. Retwist your locks and realign your chakras. Doing your squats and getting closer to God, huh? Brunching with your squad or taking a girl's trip. Adjust your crown, you God's gift to the world, sis. Celestial body, drink your water. Meditate, sun-kissed goddess, heavenly order. Levitate, tribe of Ashanti. Black girl magic, melanin popping. Whether you ratchet or lavish, whether you bougie or savage, you a gift and a treasure. You got to love a black girl getting a shift together. Black girls are getting a shift together. These black girls getting a shift together, man. These black girls are getting a shift together.